Welcome to Sikhcast, brought to you by Sikh Research Institute, illuminating every path.
Welcome to Vaisakhi Countdown, a series highlighting individual experiences and relationships that people hold with Vaisakhi. Coming from diverse backgrounds, countries, and experiences, our team is passionate about sharing their connection to Vaisakhi and its resonance in their lives. Follow along as each team member highlights their story of what Vaisakhi means to them. Today, you will hear from Inderpreet Singh, who serves on the Sikh board.
Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Today is the 9th day of our Vaisakhi countdown. My name is Inderpreet Singh. I'm on the board of directors of Sikh and glad to share a reflection on Vaisakhi this year. I remember distinctly when we did the series last year, we were in the very early stages of the pandemic and the lockdown, and there was a legitimate sense of confusion, fear, anxiety within our families, and also ended up within our sangats, within our community as well. Because no one knew what was going on, what was going to happen. Even in that short time, there was that separation from the Sadh Sangat anxiety. Simultaneously at that time, there was also a rise in the Chardi Kala and a sense of urgency to do something. So the idea of seva, Sabadda Pala, clicked in with the Sikh community, and we have all those different examples of what happened. I do also have to acknowledge, however, a year has gone by, and interestingly, those that were economically privileged, they remain economically privileged, and as a matter of fact, have gained in their economic privilege. Those that had lesser opportunities back then have been squeezed even further. There's political turmoil going on. Black Lives Matter has been very, kind of near and dear to all of us. Well, the farmers' protest happening in the homeland is also very near and dear to us. So the turmoil still exists. And so what should be the message of Vaisakhi this year? I think it's the same as last year. There's no difference. And every year. Vaisakhi is about reflection, collection, getting everyone together, and sharing at all levels. I remember the Shabad that I chose last time, which was one of in dire straits, what should we do? The Shabad that I'm choosing this time is somewhat interrelated as well. It's a Shabad of asking. And it is, what is the fundamental support strategy? What is this fundamental, I would say, methodology to attain happiness? Is a question being asked by Guru Sahib, and of course, as usual, he's providing direction towards the answer as well. There are many things going on that could be considered as successes, but things like worldly success, economic, social, political, personal, all of these achievements and all of these successes, do they really bring happiness? And he obviously acknowledges that these are all temporary. So peace of the self or happiness of the self is equivalent to happiness of the community, and as it grows further is happiness within the world. And that's really the ultimate happiness to pursue. So this Shabad is by Guru Arjan Sahib in Rag Gaudi. It's Rag Gaudi Goda Reri Mahla Panjwan. An interesting fact about this Shabad is it has two Rahau tuks. We all know that the Rahau line is usually the central idea of a Shabad. But when there's a Rahau tuk, two Rahau tuks within a Shabad, the first Rahau line is usually the question, and the second Rahau line is usually like the crux of the answer. And the Shabad, of course, flows and kind of brings all of those two together. So the question Rahau line is, So Sukhamoko Sant Batao Trisna Buje Mantriptao. We're going to read the whole Shabad, but just wanted to, what is that peace? What is that happiness that I may get, O saints? Please tell me, so that my mind may be satiated. But then the second Rahau line gives the answer. Ultimately, Sukh or Suhela, so either happiness or the calmness of life, is a wealth that is needed, and that wealth is that Vaheguru within you. So wealth of Ikonkar, and that wealth is realized by engagement with the Sadh Sangat. And that Sadh Sangat, interestingly, is gained, or the opportunity to engage with the Satsangat comes as a result of grace of Ikonkar. So it's like a whole circular argument, very interesting flow of the Shabad, and I would like to read that for you now. Gori Gora Reri Mahalla Panjwa Bahurang Maya Bobid Pekhi Kalam Kagad Sian Apalekhi Meher Maluk Hoye Dekhya Khan Tate Nahi Man Triptan So Sukhmoko Sant Batavaho Trishna Buja Man Triptavaho Rahau Asva Pavan Hast Asvari Chowa Chandan Sej Sundar Nari Nat Natak Akhare Gaya Ta Meh Man Santokh Na Paya Takat Sabha Mandan Doli Che Sagal Meve Sundar Bagiche Akhir Birat Rajan Ki Leela Manna Suhela Par Panch Hila Kar Kirpa Santan Sach Keha Sarb Sukh Eho Anand Leha साध संग हर कीर्तन गाइयै कहो नानक वड पागी पाइयै जाके हर तन सोई सुहेला प्रभ कृपा ते साध संग मेला जाके हर तन सोई सुहेला प्रभ कृपा ते साध संग मेला रहाओ दूजा. That's where the Shabad ends. I've done a rough translation to the best of my ability. I thought I'd share that as well. I have seen all the forms and methods of Maya. I have written pages and pages and showcased intelligence. I have experienced being an emperor, a chief, and a leader, yet there is no satisfaction in my mind. O sons, tell me that happiness by which my thirst may be quenched and my mind may be satiated. I have ridden horses that fly like the wind, as well as ridden on elephant chariots. I have been scented in sandalwood perfume and enjoyed the bed of beautiful women. I have enjoyed the dramas in theaters and the music in concerts. Despite all that, my mind has not been at ease. I may have a throne to sit on and a royal carpet to hold court. I also enjoy my fruit orchards and my beautiful gardens. I also participate in the chase and play all the royal games. But the mind is not at ease or comforted by these illusory pursuits. Then I was graced with the truth by the Sad Sangat. Out of all the pursuits in life, this is the only one that brings Anand, and that is with the Sad Sangat, sing the praises of the Har, the Ikonkar. Nanak says that opportunity is available through grace. Sohela, or comfort of life, is available to those that have the wealth of Ikonkar in them, and through grace of the Prabh, the Ikonkar, the company of the Sad Sangat is obtained. So all of the different examples that Guru Sahib is giving in like what we call like worldly pursuits have equivalents in this day and age as well. The pages and pages and showcasing intelligence is our our degrees and masters and PhDs that we gather, and successes in business maybe also associated with that. The ideas about emperor and chief and leader, and this whole royalty has to do with economic and political power. It's the equivalent ideas that many of us have achieved that, but have we really truly achieved happiness or peace or comfort in reality? The enjoyment of dramas in theater and the music in concerts is obviously in this day and age our Netflix and SoundClouds and all of the dramas and movies and series that we associate with. The orchards and beautiful gardens. Who doesn't like to engage with nature? Gardening was a big thing during the pandemic. I myself pursued. It got me away from things, but did it really provide me happiness? And happiness is provided only from that one thing, which is the engagement with Sad Sangat and grace. So one of the things that many of us missed since last Vaisakhi is literally the physical manifestation of Sad Sangat. The Guru would never confine Sad Sangat to just the physical, gathering. I mean, there is many dimensions of Sadh Sangat as well, but indeed, the gathering in a Sadh Sangat as a community, like we do as usual in our gurdwaras, in Nagar Kirtans, in conferences, in camps, retreats, and various other venues that not just us as Sikhs, but the whole world needs and engage with, is as important as the metaphysical Sadh Sangat. And the Guru in this Shabad has proclaimed that is the ultimate way, or the ultimate process to develop that happiness, peace, calmness, both within the self as well as within the community. So being at the level of Satsangat, where the enabling of praise of the Ik Onkar occurs, is what we should also do in Ardas for this Vaisakhi. So this Vaisakhi, the ending message that I would give is, let's do an Ardas that we can safely return to our regular programming in our gurdwaras and all of the different venues that we have, and that engagement will happen with both Ardas, because the Ardas is really a longing or an asking for, hey, grace, Vaheguru, kirpa karo, grace karo. So, and that is our job, is to ask and put the effort. Grace and success in that is Vaheguru's job, and let's leave it at that. So I would like to wish everyone a happy Vaisakhi. Hope my reflection made sense. I may have veered off on different errors, so for that I apologize. I appreciate this opportunity. Happy Vaisakhi and Guru Rakha. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
You were listening to Sikhcast by Sikh Research Institute, illuminating every path.